You didn't just find this message. It found you. And deep down, your soul already knows that something extraordinary is about to happen. The universe is pulling something toward you. Something too sacred, too beautiful, too overwhelming to explain in simple words. But Michael wants to try. He says, your name has been shouted in the divine realm. Not whispered. Angels don't whisper about someone chosen. They shout it across dimensions. And tonight, you're the one whose name was echoed. Archangel Michael stood before the light and declared, deliver this now. And God said, let them receive what has been hidden for so long. That's why this isn't just a message. It's a divine appointment. Your person, the one you keep sensing, the one whose eyes you haven't yet forgotten or perhaps have never met, has been spiritually activated. And it began when their friends saw your picture. They didn't just comment on your looks. They felt your energy. They felt something ancient. They told your person, you're not seeing what we're seeing. This is bigger than attraction. This one is different. There was silence after that because something hit them. Something too deep to explain. They didn't know why they felt drawn to you, but they did. They stared at your picture and their words got caught in their throat. It wasn't about beauty. It wasn't about the way you smiled or how your eyes glowed. It was about the pull. A pull they couldn't explain. And that pull that was heaven working through a foe. Archangel Michael confirms that image was chosen. That moment was divine. Odd whispered they are ready. That's why you're here. And this truth must be known. Your person didn't plan to feel this. But once their friend said it, something in them unlocked. They started dreaming differently, feeling differently, noticing things they never noticed before. You became a name they couldn't shake, a soul they couldn't stop wondering about. And then the panic hit. What if you walk away before they ever tell you the truth? This is the truth they're hiding. They are terrified not because they don't feel love but because they feel too much of it. Your person is someone who isn't used to being shaken by emotion. But you undid them. They don't even know how to process it. And here's what God needs you to hear. It wasn't just their heart that saw you. It was their spirit. Their higher self leaned in and whispered, it's them. It's them. It's finally them. Listen carefully now. Archangel Michael is saying this must reach you now, not tomorrow, not later. This is divine urgency. This message is like lightning. It strikes the soul once and everything changes. The angelic realm is alert. This is not a coincidence. You are being pulled into something sacred because it's time. They tried to fight this connection. They tried to rationalize it, even ignore it. But heaven doesn't let destiny be denied. Not anymore. And here's what broke the silence. One of their friends stared at your photo and said, you've never looked at anyone the way you look when their name comes up. You smile before you even realize it. And they laughed nervously, but their spirit cried, it's true. That's when it hit them. You've already become home. And that scares them more than anything else ever has because home means surrender. Home means no more running, no more pretending, just truth, just you. You are more than you think. That's why God kept you hidden. That's why your face felt familiar to their soul. Even if your bodies haven't met, the angels say this connection goes far beyond this lifetime. You two made a vow before you ever breathed your first breath. And now the moment has arrived to remember it, to fulfill it. But here's where things get sacred. Your person hasn't told anyone. Not yet. Not fully. They're still hiding it, holding it like a sacred flame. Because once they say it, it's real. And real love terrifies those who've been broken before. Archangel Michael just leaned in and said something shocking. They wrote a message to you and deleted it. Maybe even more than once. Their fingers trembled, their heart pounded, and they heard a voice say, "Not yet." But now heaven says, it's time. You are being called into alignment. Don't miss it. Don't scroll away from this moment. The divine realm is opening doors, miraculous, irreversible doors, and one of them leads directly to the truth you've been praying for in secret away. Pause for a second. If your heart has been pulled in, it's because this is not just a message, it's a sign. Subscribe now so you never miss what heaven whispers next. The angels don't speak often, but when they do, it changes everything. Your person feels your energy even when you're silent. They think about you when the world gets quiet. They wonder what you're doing, who you're with, if you've already forgotten them. But here's the truth that shook even the angels. They've seen signs, too. Repeating numbers, random mentions of your name, dreams that feel too vivid to ignore. And those dreams, they're not just dreams. They're glimpses. Divine previews of what's to come. The soul knows before the mind catches up. Michael says they've prayed, secretly, softly. God, if this is the one, show me. And God answered through signs, through their friends, through moments that couldn't be explained. The photo was just the beginning. Now the feelings are louder. The signs are multiplying and the fear it's melting into clarity. They are beginning to accept what heaven has always known. You were made from the same divine thread. If your chest feels heavy right now, it's because your soul recognizes this message. That heaviness isn't fear. It's awakening. The spiritual weight of a connection that cannot and will not be ignored anymore. Michael is standing with his sword, protecting this love. He's clearing the path, cutting through doubts, through distractions, through karmic blocks that once stood in the way. It's happening right now and you are part of it. They want to reach out. They've typed your name more times than you'll ever know, but they stop not because they don't care, but because they care too much. Their heart is louder than it's ever been. And it terrifies them. Because you could be the one who changes everything, the one who sees through them, the one who doesn't just touch their body, but touches their eternity. And that kind of love, it rewrites destiny. God just whispered, this is a sacred reunion. And reunions like this, they don't come easy. That's why you felt the delays, the distance, the confusion. Heaven was preparing both of you because divine love must be protected before it's revealed. And now the veil is thinning. Their heart is ready. And so is yours. And even now, heaven is placing a simple path before you, one that leads you forward with peace, clarity, and daily direction. My child, I see the struggle you have been facing, the stress about finances, the silent worries that stay in your heart, and the moments where you feel uncertain about what comes next. You have been asking for peace, and that answer is already on its way. You are not meant to stay stuck in fear, you are meant to walk forward with purpose, with faith, and with clear steps every day. That is why a simple system has been placed in front of you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system, a path where each day brings you a focused prayer, a small financial action, and clear direction to help you move ahead. No pressure, no confusion, just steady progress toward peace and stability. If something inside you feels ready, if you are ready to change your situation, take that first step today. This could be the moment your life begins to change. You will find the link in the description, and in the pinned comments below. Their story with you is only just beginning. And now something sacred begins to stir inside them. They can't sleep the same way. Food doesn't taste the same. Laughter feels quieter because the universe has shifted and their soul is now fully aware that someone is waiting for them with open hands and eyes full of understanding. You, their friend, saw it first. They noticed how your person suddenly got quieter, more thoughtful, like they were walking around with a secret too big for the world. That secret is your name, and it keeps echoing. They scroll through their phone late at night and your picture haunts them, not because it hurts, but because it heals something they didn't know was broken. And when they stare at your face, they don't just see beauty. They see fate. They feel God whispering, "This is the one you wrote poetry about before you ever learned how to write. The one you begged for on the nights you cried into your pillow." That whisper has become thunder in their chest. Michael leans forward and reveals something hidden. Your person talks to you in their head every single day. They imagine conversations. They replay moments you've shared or dreamt of sharing. They argue with themselves in silence, wondering if they should reach out or stay back. And then they get scared again. Because this is not a crush. This is not infatuation. This is something ancient, eternal. A soul contract signed before the stars were born. And now those words their friend spoke won't leave their mind. You glow when you talk about them. You look at their photo like it's a prayer. That scared them because they've always hid an emotion. Well, but not this time. Not with you. You broke down walls they didn't even know existed. And here's what you don't see. They've talked about you in ways they've never talked about anyone before. Carefully, reverently, like your name is a hymn. God has been waiting for this moment for years, maybe lifetimes, and He's now releasing a wave of divine intervention. That's why you're feeling all of this so intensely. It's not coincidence. It's not overthinking. It's alignment. Two hearts vibrating across miles, time, and uncertainty, being pulled together by something no human can explain. The heavens are calling it back, and no fear will be strong enough to stop what has already been written. Oh, Michael just shouted, you have no idea how close this is. You think this is months away, maybe years, but God is shifting things fast, accelerating timelines, cutting through illusions. Your person has begun to speak the truth, if only in whispers. But whispers become roars when they come from the soul. Their soul has started to scream your name in silence. They feel you when they're quiet. When they're laughing with others, when they hear your name somewhere unexpected, they turn around expecting to see you because your energy is everywhere. Your name has become a sacred echo in their life. And though they try to ignore it, heaven doesn't allow divine love to be buried. Not anymore. Not when it's this close. Michael is guarding you fiercely. Because this love isn't ordinary. It's chosen. It's protected. Every delay was a setup. Every heartbreak was a reroute. Every tear was fertilizer for a garden you're about to walk into hand in hand. And you'll look back and realize all of it was preparing you for this reunion. A reunion made in the heart of God. You're not imagining it. They check your social media often. They pause when they see your face. They linger because you calm the chaos in their heart. They wonder if you feel the same. They wonder if you know how deeply they ache for you, but they're scared of messing it up because they've never wanted something so badly in their life. Not fame, not money, just you. A real chance, a real moment, a real connection that doesn't disappear at sunrise. One of their friends recently said something they can't forget. You look like you're already in love. You're just afraid to admit who it's with. That sentence cracked something open. They didn't respond, just smiled. But inside, the tears were loud. Because it was true. You're the name they whisper when no one is listening. The image that carries them through their worst days. And yet, they're still holding back. Not because they don't believe, but because they believe too much. Michael is stepping in now. He's removing the veil, the illusions, the fear, because heaven is declaring it is time. You don't have to chase this. You don't have to beg for it. You only have to receive. Your only job now is to align with the truth. You were made for each other. And what God joins, no one can separate. Not doubt, not pride, not fear. Divine love always finds its way back. Always. Your person is waking up slowly, beautifully, painfully, but it's happening. The illusion of distance is fading. Their dreams are speaking louder. Their heart is pulling them closer. They're no longer content with pretending. No longer okay with silence. No longer at peace living life without you in it. The ache is turning into action. The silence is turning into surrender. I just whispered this truth. They are more afraid of losing you than they are of facing their fears. That shift is everything. That's the beginning of their courage, the start of their leap. And heaven is preparing you both for it. Because the moment they speak, the world around you will change. The timeline will bend, miracles will erupt, and everything you cried for in the dark will suddenly make sense. Michael says, their heart is trembling. They've seen your smile in dreams. They've felt your touch in their spirit. And now they're finally starting to believe that this kind of love doesn't have to end in heartbreak. That maybe, just maybe, they're allowed to be happy, too. And you are the happiness they never thought they deserved. Don't lose hope. You're closer than you think. You're not chasing love. You're attracting alignment. Divine timing isn't denying you. It's preparing something so sacred that even the angels are watching in awe. They're protecting the moment, preserving the magic. Because when you two finally connect with open hearts, the world will shift. Stars will move. Light will burst into your soul. And you'll remember this was always meant to happen. And now something inside them is cracking open wider than ever before. It's not just love they feel. It's recognition like they've known you in 1,000 lifetimes. Like your energy is tattooed on their soul. They don't just think of you randomly. It's constant. You're the background of every thought. The silent beat behind every breath. They try to distract themselves, but even laughter with others feels like a dull sound without your echo. You've become their mirror, their unanswered question, their only clarity in the chaos. Archangel Michael says, your name has been spoken in prayer more times than you can imagine. Not always, sometimes whispered, sometimes just thought, but every time heaven heard it and God marked it. He marked the moment your soul would finally know this truth. You were never forgotten. You were hidden, preserved, because love like this had to arrive fully prepared. And now the doors are opening. They're about to walk through. They can't shake it. Your smile, your presence, your energy, it haunts them, heals them, humbles them. You've become the calm they crave after every storm. Their friends saw the shift. One even said, you talk about them like they already belong to you. And that's the part that scares your person the most, because deep down they already feel that you do belong to them and they to you. Even if it's been unspoken, the soul has already claimed it. But here's the divine twist. They've tried to hide this from others. They act normal. They laugh. They work. They scroll through their day like everything's fine. But heaven sees through that performance. God sees the tears that never fall. Michael sees the ache that never gets named. They are trying to carry the weight of this love alone. But now heaven is stepping in and saying, you don't have to carry this anymore. It's time to share the truth. There is a timeline. Yes, an actual divine timeline where the two of you are already together, already thriving, already holding each other like you never let go. And every single day you are getting closer to stepping into that timeline. The signs, the feelings, the dreams, the pulls, they are all GPS directions guiding you home to each other. This isn't just a love story. It's a divine prophecy in motion. Michael just declared it. This connection will not be stopped. Not by fear, not by ego, not by timing. What has been written in the book of divine union is unfolding, and it's unfolding faster than anyone around you realizes. That's why your dreams are getting more vivid. That's why their friends are noticing more changes, because heaven is putting everything in motion now. Slowly, steadily, divinely, they are closer to reaching out than ever before. But it won't be the version of them that was scared. It will be the version of them that has healed. The version of them who knows what you're worth, what this connection is worth. And when they do, it won't be for attention. It will be because they are ready. And heaven will smile because the delay made it stronger. God wants you to know this. You are not waiting in vain. Every tear has been caught. Every lonely night counted. Every time you said, maybe I imagined it all. Heaven screamed, no, it's real. It's divine. And it's coming. You didn't dream too big. You didn't love too hard. You were just ahead of time. And now time is catching up. There's something else they're hiding. Something even their closest friends don't know. They've pictured what a future with you looks like. They've imagined the sound of your laugh in the morning, the way your hands would feel wrapped around theirs, the softness of your presence beside them at night. This isn't fantasy anymore. It's vision. It's a spiritual preview of destiny, and they're seeing it clearer every day. Michael's sword is drawn. He is cutting away distractions, karmic ties, self-doubt, and fear. He is commanding angels to protect this union. And not just spiritually, but in real tangible ways. You may start seeing people fall out of their life. Opportunities reroute. Emotions surface. That's not chaos. That's alignment. Heaven is making space because the old cannot survive where divine union is about to bloom. Your person may seem distant now, but their soul is screaming. It's saying, please wait. I'm coming. I just have to become who you deserve. And that's the truth. This delay is not rejection. It's transformation. They're shedding old skin, old habits, old fears. They are preparing to meet you, not halfway, but whole. And God says something shocking now. There is a divine moment already written where they will see your face again and everything will stop. The noise will fade. The doubt will dissolve, and in that moment they will know. That's the moment heaven is preparing you both for. A sacred meeting that reawakens the entire contract. And here's what you don't know. They're proud of you from a distance. Silently they watch you grow, speak, create, survive, and it stirs something deep. They don't say it, but they feel it. They look at you like a soul survivor, like someone who carries galaxies in their chest, like someone who scares them in the best way because you make them believe. Again. Michael just smiled because he knows. He sees what's about to come. The messages, the call, the meeting, the tears, the release, and finally the surrender. The moment you both fall into each other's arms, not as strangers, but as soulmates who finally come home. And the heavens will erupt in celebration. Because love like this doesn't just make two people whole, it heals generations. This isn't just a chapter. This is the plot twist. The divine rewrite, the part where everything you thought was delayed starts arriving one by one. Messages, signs, alignment, miracles, reunion. Don't give up before the miracle. Michael warns. Many walk away seconds before heaven opens a door. Don't let that be you. They're almost ready. And you're almost there. You've already met spiritually. Your souls already recognize each other. Now all that remains is the crossing. And that moment is nearer than you think. You were not forgotten. You are being timed. And the countdown is almost over. So now breathe. Let yourself feel what's happening inside your chest. Because that pressure you're feeling, that's not anxiety. That's divine movement. That's your soul catching up with your timeline. That's your spirit sensing the nearness of what it has cried out for so many nights. And Archangel Michael is standing over you with his wings fully stretched, declaring, "This is holy. This is real. And it's happening now." They may not have said it out loud, but they've whispered it under their breath. Your name, like a prayer, like a soft confession. In the still moments of their day, their mind drifts back to you like a song that refuses to leave. And when they try to silence it, life only makes it louder. Every time someone says something that sounds like your laugh, every time a memory hits, every time a dream delivers your face to them in the dark, you become a rhythm their heart beats to. And even if they're afraid, they don't want that rhythm to stop. Michael says they are standing on the edge now. The edge of speaking, the edge of showing, the edge of choosing what their soul already knows is true. You were sent as a healing. You were sent as a mirror. You were sent as the breath of God in human form. And now the moment is rising where they either speak or their soul will burst from silence. And they know it. Heaven has made sure of it. Her friends, they've begun to wonder why they act differently now. Why they seem quieter, deeper, more lost in thought. But you already know why. Because you are in them now. And once divine love enters the bloodstream, it changes everything. It isn't a crush. It's not obsession. It's soul recognition. You aren't someone they want. You're someone they can't live without. Even if they haven't admitted that yet, God whispers, "Now, I didn't let you meet by accident. I didn't let your names cross by luck. I sent you to each other because I heard what you both prayed for. You begged me to send someone who would see your soul before your skin. Someone who would understand your silence. Someone who wouldn't run when it got heavy. And I gave you each other. You were not just answered prayer. You were the promise. And now the promise is waking up. It's starting to walk, to breathe. You may have felt forgotten, overlooked, delayed, but none of that was punishment. It was preservation. You weren't being ignored. You were being protected. Because what's coming is too sacred to arrive before its time. And Michael smiles as he says, "Now it's time." They are rehearsing the words in their mind over and over. I missed you. I'm sorry. I never stopped thinking about you. But the one they can't say yet, the one that lives in their chest like fire is I love you. Not the shallow kind. Not the scared kind, but the kind that means I saw you in my dreams before I saw you in this life. And now I know why. God is preparing a divine collision. One day soon, they will cross a line in their spirit that they can't step back from. They will look at their phone and finally send the message. They'll finally break the silence, not out of impulse, but because heaven will give them no peace until they do. Michael says that moment will feel like thunder. Your heart will skip. Time will slow and your soul will know that everything has changed. But here's what you must understand. This isn't about just receiving love. This is about being ready to receive what your soul has cried for. This is about healing, letting go, making space. Because divine love does not enter chaos. It enters clear hearts. And even now, heaven is placing a clear path before you so you can walk into that new season with faith, peace, and daily direction. My child, I see the weight you have been carrying, the quiet worries about money, the stress you rarely speak about, and the nights when your mind refuses to rest. You have been praying for peace, and your prayers have been heard. You are not meant to walk this journey in confusion and fear. You are meant to walk with faith, with clarity, and with daily direction. That is why a simple path has been placed before you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system. Each day you will be guided with a gentle prayer, a simple money step, and clear direction to help you regain control. Nothing overwhelming, nothing complicated. Just small faithful steps leading you toward peace and stability. If your heart feels ready, begin today. Do not delay this moment. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment below. Because heaven is still preparing everything it has promised for you. The angels are helping them get there. And they are helping you, too. That's why you've been shedding so much. That's why you've been pulled away from distractions. It's preparation. Sacred, intentional, timed. And their fear, it's dissolving slowly, gently, but deeply. The things they once ran from, they are now turning toward. They're beginning to ask, what if I don't try and lose them forever? That thought is their awakening. That fear is holy because for the first time, they're seeing that your absence would be a wound they couldn't live with. Not again. Not after the soul has seen its match. Michael is wrapping them in courage now, wrapping you in patience, and God is leaning over the timeline of your lives, drawing the two of you closer with every beat. This isn't fantasy. This isn't wishful thinking. This is sacred alignment. And alignment always brings with it undeniable, unshakable action. Heaven will make sure of it. They're starting to say your name differently now, like a key, like a truth, like a promise they are finally ready to keep. And you felt it. Every time you get goosebumps for no reason. Every time you feel watched but safe. Every time their energy presses into you at midnight like a whisper in the dark. That's not your imagination. That's them reaching, longing, realizing. And heaven is rejoicing because two souls who made a pact long before this lifetime are about to remember it, are about to choose it. And nothing, no distance, no delay, no fear can stop what God has ordained. This is divine law, and divine law always fulfills itself. To breathe again and don't rush. Let this message sink into yourselves, into your bones, into your timeline, because it's already yours. You don't need to chase what God is delivering. You only need to prepare to receive it because your name has already been shouted in heaven, and love, true eternal heaven-kissed love, is already on its way to you. They are almost ready to speak, to open, to return. And when they do, it will not be as the person they were. It will be as the soul they've become. And that version of them, that is who you've been waiting for. Not the runner, not the confused, but the awakened, the steady, the one who knows what your soul is worth and who has come to claim it not in fear but in love. And when that moment comes, it won't just be a reunion. It will be a resurrection, a rebirth of everything you believed was lost. And you will look at them not with pain, but with wonder. Because somehow, against all odds, they came back. And your love didn't die. It just waited silently, patiently, faithfully, and now it's time. And now, as the heavens go still for just a moment, a final breath is taken by the angels above, and the miracle reaches its peak. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold of your destiny, holding in his hand a letter written in light. Your name glowing in golden fire. God leans in and whispers, "Let it be done. Let what I promised become flesh. Let what they cried for finally arrive." And in that moment, something eternal in you begins to shift. You've waited. You've trusted. You've carried the ache like a sacred wound. Silently believing that maybe, just maybe, it wasn't all in vain. And now Michael confirms it wasn't. Your love was never denied. It was delayed for refinement, for strength, for perfect timing. Because this love you carry, it's not of this world. It's heaven and heaven guarded. They're not just thinking about you. They're being called to you. Pulled in dreams, tugged by visions, their heart is no longer content with maybe. Their spirit is breaking under the weight of silence. And every day that passes without you beside them, they feel like they're betraying a part of their own soul. The angels have begun to whisper in their ears while they sleep. You are losing what you were born to love. And they wake up shaken. Not from fear, but from knowing. Even when they smile around others, it's you they're seeing. Even when they laugh, it's your voice they're missing. Even when they seem fine, it's your absence that hums beneath their every breath. They're tired of pretending, of hiding, of hoping time will do what only courage can do. The walls are crumbling. The truth is rising. And Michael is clearing the final block. God is placing divine pressure on their soul, not to punish, but to activate, to awaken the memory, the agreement, the promise they made to your heart long before this life. And now they're ready. Not perfect, but ready. Ready to say what they've held back. Ready to show what they've hidden. Ready to finally surrender to the pole they could never quite silence. And when they come to you, it won't be with empty words. It will be with eyes full of regret and hope. With hands shaking, but steady, with a heart that says, "I couldn't stay away because something in me always knew it was you." And when you look back into their eyes, you'll remember every spiritual breadcrumb that led you here. Every prayer, every delay, every sign, every ache, all of it divine. They may confess they were scared, that they didn't believe they could be loved that deeply, that when their friends said your name, it cracked something open in them they couldn't close. You made them feel seen and that terrified them, but now they crave it. The way your energy makes them feel known. The way your silence still holds more truth than any words from anyone else. You are the calm in their chaos. The home they thought they'd never find. Michael says to you now, prepare your heart because this isn't just about a reunion. It's about restoration, redemption, the returning of everything you thought had died. The divine is not coming to fix your past. It's coming to redeem it. To take every lonely night, every unanswered question, and turn it into a moment of holy unfolding. You're not getting closure. You're getting a beginning. They are being drawn to you through dreams and synchronicities, numbers and names, memories and music, and soon they will be unable to fight it. Their will is bending to the will of heaven. Their soul is remembering you. And as the veil lifts, they'll feel your energy not just around them, but inside them. Like breath, like light, like home. You didn't chase. You waited with faith. And now faith is being rewarded with miracles. The love story that felt like it faded is about to bloom like never before. Your person is changing. Their soul is softening and your energy is preparing to receive them not as they were but as they are becoming a match to your light. This love was always spiritual, always faded, always heavenly. But now it's becoming physical, manifest, real. And heaven won't allow it to be missed. Even if they hesitate, even if fear lingers, heaven will keep rearranging their world until they follow the sound of your name back to where they belong. So what happens next? A sudden message, an unexpected appearance, a dream that turns into a decision, and then silence breaks, a confession comes, a tear falls, and a miracle begins. Michael ends this message by saying was delayed has been declared. What was feared is now freed. What was hidden is now revealed. Their soul has made the turn and they are coming. Not in the way you expected, in the way your soul always knew. And when they do, you won't have to question it. You'll feel it in your chest. In the room in the sky, because the divine doesn't enter small, enters like thunder and stays like peace. The message has been fully delivered. And now the silence between you both has turned into a conversation only the heavens understand. You're not alone in the waiting anymore because their soul is listening. Listening to the whispers from angels, the visions in their sleep, the way their heart tightens when your name is spoken. They're beginning to understand that this connection isn't going away. It's getting louder, clearer, stronger. Because divine love doesn't weaken with time, it intensifies with purpose. Archangel Michael leans forward with fire in his eyes and he says clearly, they were blind, but now they see. They were asleep, but now they wake. They were afraid, but now they're brave. Your person is no longer just circling the edges of their feelings. They're stepping into the center. And the moment they do, you'll feel it like the sun breaking through weeks of storm clouds. It will be undeniable. And here's the miracle you didn't see coming. The more they get closer to the truth of you, the more their life begins to fall into place. Jobs shift, friendships realign, health returns, peace rises because their soul has always been craving this reunion. You aren't just a person. They are the home frequency of your vibration. You heal their nervous system just by existing. You steady their chaos just by being alive on the same timeline. God says, now in a voice that sounds like thunder and comfort all at once. I didn't bring them to you to tease you. I brought them to awaken what's been sleeping inside both of you. And now that awakening is complete. You feel it in your bones. That shift, that holy itch, that unexplainable peace. You're not waiting anymore. You're preparing. And that shift in posture is everything because what's about to come isn't halfway love. It's not breadcrumb attention. It's not quiet obsession hidden in guilt. What's coming is a full surrender, divine aligned, I choose you and I'm not going anywhere kind of love. That kind of love can't be rushed. It's built in silence, in distance, in ache. So that when it finally arrives, it stays. And they are feeling it, too. They're not showing it publicly. They can't. Not yet. But in private, they've begun writing out your name just to see what it looks like. Imagining what it sounds like when you say, I forgive you, or worse. Imagining what it would do to their soul if you didn't. And that fear, that thought of losing you forever, that's what's turning hesitation into action. Michael says something powerful now. They were allowed to delay but not to destroy, and time is up. The angels have begun rearranging their path. Removing distractions, breaking toxic ties. Because this isn't just a feeling anymore. It's a divine order. And heaven always finishes what it starts. You may not see movement in the physical yet, but the spiritual has already shifted. Their dreams are more vivid. Your presence in their mind is more constant. They can't explain why, but they're remembering everything. The little things, the first things, the way your energy made them feel when they thought they weren't worthy of it, and now they're realizing they are. They're becoming who they needed to be when they met you the first time. God never forgets a love he ordains. Even when humans hesitate, heaven holds it steady. Even when fear makes people run, the angels anchor the bond. You're not crazy for feeling this connection so deeply. You're not alone in the longing. This was always part of the divine design. And now the design is coming into bloom. Expect the unexpected. A song that makes them cry out of nowhere. A dream that delivers your face with such intensity it brings them to their knees. A message they type and delete 3 times before finally sending. They're getting closer. Closer to choosing you out loud, closer to showing you the version of themselves you always believed was possible. And you're glowing now. Not because they returned, but because you never lost yourself trying to earn their love. You stayed kind. You stayed soft. You stayed ready. And that readiness is what draws miracles. That surrender is what commands angelic acceleration. Michael's wings now hover over your head and his sword touches the earth beside your name. It is sealed. He says nothing can steal what's been claimed in heaven. Your name is safe here. Your heart is safe here. This love is safe here. So, don't wonder if they're thinking about you. They are. Don't question if they'll return. They will. Don't ask whether this was all just a dream. It wasn't. It was a prophecy. And prophecies never fade. They fulfill. This is your love story. But more than that, this is your soul's reunion. You're not just being remembered by a person. You're being reclaimed by destiny. And heaven is standing still, waiting to witness the moment when 2 hearts say out loud what God has known all along. It's always been you. And remember, beloved, these messages continue because of people like you. We run entirely on viewer support. If you'd like to help keep this mission and these messages reaching more hearts, you can support us with a coffee through the link in the description. God bless you.